You deserve better. You deserve better friends, more money, a better job, a better life, cleaner food, better water, I think is one of the most damaging things you can say to a person. Because as good as it sounds to say you do deserve more than this, right? You can do better. That part is maybe true. You can do better if you don't like what you have. But deserve, I believe, is the problem. Because if you break down the word deserve and what deserve means, is it is an expectation. It is setting an expectation that this is how life should be. And the fact that you don't have that means there's something wrong. It means that you should be upset. And to quote someone who I think we should all look up to in terms of wisdom and decision making and life skill, Charlie Munger, recently passed, 100 years old, lives an incredible life. I don't trust any politician who makes people feel as though they're victims. Probably butchered the quote a little bit. But the point is that by making someone believe that life should be better, that you deserve more, that you do not deserve whatever pain or uncomfortable circumstances you are in, only does them a disservice. Right? It makes them entitled, which makes sense. It's a normal reaction to have. I'm not saying that is the problem. I'm saying the narrative that we deserve things, that we deserve anything at all, is causing most of the problems, most of the pain and suffering, if not all, in this world, because we suffer so much more in our imaginations than in reality. And the reason for that is because reality is different than our expectations. And by telling someone that they deserve better, that they deserve good, that they deserve fantastic, you are setting them up for life to be more painful than what they think it should be. Because life is painful, and life is not always fantastic, and life hurts. Life kicks you in the fucking nuts, and that's okay, because that's the point. The point was not to go into life and come out untouched and perfect. That's boring. Nobody wants that. I mean, maybe it feels nice in the moment, but it's like drugs. You know, there's no character development. There's no hard thing you are doing by taking a drug. Getting out of it, absolutely, that's difficult. But by actually doing the thing, it's escapism, and it's expecting it to be easy. And so the reason I'm so passionate about this is because in my younger years, I was so convinced that I deserved better, or that injustices in the world, which I still believe are injustices and I still believe they're a problem, didn't deserve to be there. And they don't. Like, no one deserves anything is the thing, right? And if you say that, and if you believe that, if you believe I deserve nothing, then you can go into this world and go into your everyday life and be happy with whatever you get. Because if you deserve nothing, which in my opinion, none of us do, it's pretty much dumb luck that any of us are here, right? We're going to be a hell of a lot happier if we just expect nothing. I'm going to take it to a quote from one of my favorite authors and academics. His name is Robert Sapolsky. He's written the books Behave, Determined, probably some other ones. Excellent thinker, just a fantastic. If ignorance is evil, he is an incredibly strong force for good. I'm going to butcher the hell out of this quote, but he says, when you look, he's a neuroscientist, when you look at the amount of complexity and timing and chemical signals that go off in your brain while you're having sex, like ejaculation, you know, when you're doing the deed. It is an insane miracle that it works as often as it does and that any of us are here. And so even if you take that out of the situation, right, even if you take that insane coordination of biology out of the situation, all of us had a 1 in 400 billion, an incomprehensible small chance of being alive. And to think that we deserve anything going into this world, I believe, is completely wasting our life. Because none of us deserve to be here. Because no one deserves anything. It's like if you zoom out far enough, right? I'm in a forest right now. You zoom out on the forest, New York. You zoom out on New York, America. You zoom out on America, North America. If you zoom out on North America, the globe. You zoom out on the globe, the solar system. You keep zooming out, we're irrelevant. And I became irrelevant long before we zoomed out of the globe. I became irrelevant once we saw I was in New York, right? So many people here. I don't matter. And so my point is, you do not get what you deserve. right? Because we've all gotten something. We all are alive and we deserve nothing. So we are already doing better than the expectation. What you do get is what you tolerate. Someone's treating you badly. You continue to be friends with them. You don't correct their behavior. You do correct their behavior and they don't stop, and you continue to be friends with them. That is not what you deserve, because that's irrelevant. You're tolerating it. And that is reinforcing their behavior to treat you the way you don't want to be treated, right? If you are making $10,000 a year, working 15 hours a day, that's brutal. That's brutal. I mean, personally, I did the old 16 months, 16 hours a day, $0. But also brutal. Like that shit is brutal. It hurts. It's hard. It's painful. And maybe you don't deserve that, right? You could probably go get a better job. But if you just tolerate that, if you just stay in that job forever, of course you're not going to make more money, right? And that being said, if you're only worth, what is that, $2.50 an hour, it's completely unreasonable to expect you can go make $100 an hour, because you're not worth that, right? Because you're tolerating only having the skills that are required to make $2.50 an hour, which is not a lot of skills. But if you go learn how to, I had a copywriting phase. So if you go learn how to write copy, right? And then you go learn how to code, then you go learn financials, and then you go learn product, right? You learn all these incredibly valuable skills to businesses, right? Because the way you make money is making other people money, and then you take a little piece of that. If you go learn these valuable skills, it's like you are no longer tolerating the ignorance, right? You're no longer tolerating the ignorance that we're all born with, that you don't know anything and you're not capable of anything. You say, I may deserve this, or I may deserve nothing, or I may deserve everything, but that just doesn't matter. What you get is what you tolerate. And so if you stop tolerating not getting what you want and not being capable of getting what you want, because that's the hard part and that's the real part, so nobody's gonna fucking tell you. If you stop tolerating that, you can get whatever you want. It just takes time and effort and pain. And if you expect things to be easy and you believe you deserve good things, speaking from experience, you will not be able to endure that time, effort, pain, and sacrifice that is required to get pretty much everything good in life. And so you do not get what you deserve. All of us have already gotten miles more than we deserve because we are alive. Some even more, right? Some people were born into a good family. I was very lucky. I was born into an upper middle class white family. I had together parents, incredibly privileged. Way more than I deserve. Way more than anyone deserves. No one deserves anything, right? You get what you tolerate. And personally, the thing I would recommend tolerating the least of is ignorance. The more you can learn, generally, about the truth, the better your life will be. At least that's been very true for me. Anyway, thanks for watching. Love you guys.